Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakal-Kadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth to rule well. And I want to say shalom to Akban Akwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's coming to you, in transit. Fortunately, it was a little strapped on time today, so I said, I'll just make one on the way. I wanted to sit behind the desk and do it, but hey, you know how things go. So this one's titled, You Can't Hide from the Lord. Okay, and this goes not only for, mostly for Jake, because that's, who this truth is for, but it's not just for Jake. It's for anybody, Esau has his secret dealings that he does, and their little facilities, and the secret counsel of the wicked, as it says in the Bible. And, they can't hide from the Lord either, man. And Jake doing, whatever the hell they think they're doing. You got these, these bugged out Israelites, okay, that may even so-called call themselves being in a camp or amongst a camp of some sort, all right, whether it be, Great Millstone or any other camp, all right. And, most of the brothers in Great Millstone are orderly, but, you can never truly, tell how someone's being at home. There's been recent people that were found out, all right, and as a whole, Great Millstone's is a great camp. That's, I fall after their old elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and I'm not getting on those brothers, anything like that. Of course, I'd never do that. I'm talking about the people that think they're doing something secretly, which you had the Boston reprobates, which were found out, who were formerly of GMS, and when it was found out, of course, the GMS pursuing righteousness, all right, kicked those dudes out once they found that out. Okay, and that shows you that you can't hide from the Lord, because it wasn't just that they were hiding from the elders and apostles of Great Millstones while they were bringing those things up. And this isn't about the Boston reprobates. This is about, whether it's the Boston reprobates, that the guy that just got kicked out a while ago because he was, scamming people for money. A multitude of people, whether it's Great Millstone, or because Great Millstone, you really have to keep it on lock, because the apostles find out you doing something like that, you're out. These other camps, they'll try to keep things secret from the public eye, not necessarily everybody else, but just the public eye, that they do certain things, like IUIC really doesn't want to be known with how much adultery is going down over there, all right, amongst their congregation. They don't want anybody to know that. That's not something that they put out in the forefront. But again, you can't hide from the Lord, okay? So whether it's any of these things, or whether it's Esau planning something evil, the Lord sees everything, okay? There's no way you can hide from it. It doesn't matter if you go in your closet and throw a blanket over your head and then you roll a blunt that way. It doesn't matter if, you go to you travel 2 hours out so no one will see you, and you go to a pizza shop and you get your pork pizza there. It doesn't matter, because guess what? Wherever you go, the Lord's there. All right, it's like that song, it was about a girl, but it was by the Police. I'll be watching you, every step you take, every move you make, every bond you break, every something you do, every bond you break, I'll be watching you, right? And that's the Lord. It doesn't matter, in every single day, and every single way, I'll be watching you. Let's go and get that lyric real quick, man. Every step you take, lyrics, all right, by the Police. It says, every breath you take, and every move you make, every bond you break, every step you take, I'll be watching you. Every single day, and every word you say, every game you play, every night you stay, I'll be watching you. Of course, it's about a girl, but it goes on to say, every move you make and every vow you break, every smile you fake, every claim you stake, I'll be watching you. There you go. So hey, man, and that's the Lord. He's got an eye on you, man. Whether you're an Edomite, whether you're a Jake, right? Whether you're in this truth or whether you're not in this truth, you can't hide from the Lord, man. If you're doing some shit, whether you're smoking in secret, whether you're eating pork in secret, whether you're, teaching some false name in secret, or you're trying to be sneaky around, Great Millstone or whoever it is. All right, again, not that I'm in the camp, but no, if you're doing some wicked shit and you're trying to be sneaky, they will find you out, because the Lord's dealing with them like that. Okay? The Lord's dealing with them like that. If you can't see that, hey, man, I don't know what to tell you, because out of all these camps, if you look around and look, which one is the Lord dealing with? Who's the recently lessons that I believe is by Elder Apostle Gabar. Who's the one seeing all the chariots and all the angels? It's not IUIC. It's not Sakari. It's always GMS. And you're gonna have these fucking idiots say, "Oh no, it's just because that's they say they see those things." It's in the videos. You see it in the videos. You see the chariots in the background. You see that they have the angels on camera. You can't fake that. What are you going to say, that they hired someone to stand on business? Oh, stand there and look like an angel. That's some stupid shit. Matter of fact, that's some stuff that you would do. That sounds like something you would do for some clout. So let's go and get Ecclesiastes 23:16. All right, and that's another thing. You talking shit and saying, "Oh, those men are you?" People like Bishop Nate that imagine wickedness and devise wickedness against the apostles and the elders, a great millstone. All right, saying, "Oh, we're gonna make a video where we call them this or we call them that." When you do stuff like that, guess what? The Lord sees that as well. This is Sirach 23:16. It says, 2 sorts of men multiply sin, and the third will bring wrath. A hot mind is as a burning fire. It will not be quenched till it be consumed. A fornicator in the body of his flesh will never cease till he hath kindled a fire. All bread is sweet to a whoremonger. He will not leave off till he die. A man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, listen here, who seeth me? I am compassed about with darkness. The walls cover me, and no body seeth me. What need I to fear? The Most High will not remember my sins. See? And that's a state of you, Lord. I'm covered with darkness. I'm under these walls. I'm in a different state. I'm in a different country. I'm doing this. So no one's gonna know if I have sex with this married woman. No one's gonna know. How would anybody know if I run down to Little Caesars right now and get a pork pizza? How would anybody know? Who's gonna see me? No one's there. If I go in a part of town that anybody knows, no one's gonna know my name. No one's gonna know me. They're not gonna see me. How would anybody know? Well, the thing is, verse 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men. You're only fearing the eyes of men. Oh, I don't want Larry to see me. Oh, I don't want Bill. Oh, what if Almawan sees me? Or what if this other brother sees me? What if Elderman Natazakba sees? That's the only thing you're fearing. You're only fearing, oh, Elderman Natazakba. You're only fearing, oh, Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Har may see you, or someone may see you, or someone might get you on video, and it might get back to the apostles, or another camp, or you might be on video. That's the only thing you're fearing. You're not fearing the Lord. You're not fearing about the repercussions that can come from the Lord. You're not fearing about that. You're fearing about what men see. All right, that's it. And of course, you should, not want to be rebuked by, those brothers either, because believe me, they will flame your ass to the full extent. All right, and they'll do it righteously. All right, but you don't want that. You don't want none of that smoke. All right, but you especially don't want none of the Lord's smoke, none of the Lord's wrath. Verse 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts. It don't matter what, you could be on some Bin Laden shit. Was it him or was it Saddam Hussein that was in the middle of the desert? They found him in a fucking hole with like a breathing tube, all right, sticking out of the sand. You could be on some of that shit, man. And guess what? He could still find your ass and know where your ass is, because guess what? He sees all things. He knows all things. He watches all things. He hears all things. Okay? He's already gonna know, well, I'm gonna go do some shit like that. I'm gonna go out in the desert with a tube, and I'm gonna sit there. And guess what? He already knew before you even thought about doing it. He already knew that you were gonna do that. All right. It's just like with and the Father. There's examples with the Father. None come to mind right now. But even with Yahushua, examples come to mind with that. But he knew that there was a traitor amongst them. All right, with Judas Iscariot, he already knew. Okay, before he was betrayed, he already knew he was going to be betrayed. All right, and that's through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, through his Father, right? And it's an ability that the Lord and the Father and the Son have. Okay, they know what's going to go down before it goes down. If you're thinking about doing some shit, they already know. Guess what? If you bugged out, guess what? The Lord already knew when you came into this thing that you were going to bug out, that you weren't in this for the whole thing. People like the Boston reprobates, right? People like them, all right? The original San Diego camp, people like that, all right? When they bug out, guess what? That wasn't a big surprise. The Lord, oh, my prophet. No, that's not what happened. He already knew when those men were set into place, all right, that they were there for a time and for a season, and that they were going to bug out, and that there was going to be learning lessons made for those that stayed in the truth. All right, That there's a point and there's a point and a reason for everything, man. Okay? And the Lord already knew those things were going to happen. It wasn't a surprise to the Lord. You're not going to surprise the Lord. The Lord's never going to be like, oh, shit, I didn't know. Not that the Lord would swear, Slakia. The Lord's never going to be like, oh, no, I didn't know. No, the Lord knows all things. He sees all things, hears all things, knows all things, smells all things. He knows, man. He knows. So let's go and get Jeremiah 23 and 24. Getting closer to the workplace. Like I said, I'm going to have to piece, I don't know if I said it or mentioned it, but I'm going to just like piece this together, with editing. That was Sirach. Jeremiah, here it is. This is Jeremiah 23 and 24. It says, can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him? Saith the Lord, do not I fill heaven and earth? Saith the Lord. Look, where exactly are you going to hide from the Lord? You really gotta be on some dumbassness, all right, some stupidity level of dumb shit, all right, to think that you're in your car that you're gonna hide from the Lord, or you're in a basement that somehow what are you talking about? He fills heaven and earth. He sees everything. He's not like men. Like I can see. I don't know. There's a Lee's Liquor in the distance that I can see. I can't see who's working in there right now. I can't see, what even they have on the stock and the shelves right now. But guess what? The Lord knows what's on stock on the shelf there. The Lord knows who's working. The Lord knows who they are. He knows all those things. Now, I as a man, you're right. I can look over at Lee's Liquor. I don't know what the fuck's going on in there. I have no idea. There could be a bear and two fucking wild animals like lions duking it out in there. All right, and they could be having a bid, 25, 35, 45, going on there. Who's going to bid the highest? Who thinks that the bear is going to win? It could be happening right now, and I would not have any idea. But guess what? The Lord knows what's going down everywhere, in every business, every place you go, every house you go. He can see through walls. He's not like, man, he can't see. They went in the house. No, Lord's omnipotent, mega powerful, the most powerful being. You think he's not going to be able to see through what? Some walls? He can see through walls. He can see through whatever you're doing, and you're not even safe in your thoughts, man. You're thinking somewhere, I'm a bear false witness against this brother. I'm gonna get him in trouble. Guess what? The Lord already knew you were gonna do that. And then guess what? The Lord, you can't say that. I never did that. You can lie and say to men that, oh no, I never thought that. But you can't lie to that. How are you gonna lie to the Lord? The Lord already knew the answer before you answered it. All right. So again, Jeremiah 23 verse 24. Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him? Saith the Lord. Do not I fill heaven and earth, saith the Lord? So there you go, man. Let's get it in the Good News Translation. It says, no one can hide where I cannot see him. Do you not know that I am everywhere in heaven and on earth? And it's true. What do you mean on earth? The Lord's not where on earth? Well, he's visiting earth right now. Do you see all the earthquakes and disasters and mudslides and shootings and violence and hurricanes and tornadoes? That's the Lord. All right? That's the Lord. Says, this is the New Living Translation. Can anyone hide from me in a secret place? Am I not everywhere in all the heavens and earth, says the Lord. There you go. Now I'm gonna get one more, and then actually I got quite a bit of time actually now that I think about it. So let's get where are we going from here? Let's get Luke 12 and 2. I'm going to grab a drink, so bear with me a moment. All right, so Luke, where were we at? 12 and 2. So let's go and get it. Luke 12 and verse 2 down through 3, and we might actually read further depending on the circumstances. So Luke 2 and 2. We'll go from 1. Luke said 2 and 2. Luke 12 in verse 1. It says, in the meantime, when there were gathered together an innumerable multitude of people, insomuch that they trode one upon another, he began to say unto his disciples, first of all, beware ye of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid, that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which ye have spoken in the ear in closets shall be proclaimed upon the housetops. Okay? So there you go. So going back up, verse 2 and 3 being really the heavy hitters here. So the Lord's saying, there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed. All right? You try to cover your tracks, you try to say something, you bared false witness on someone, you bore false witness, however you want to say that. Correct English, I'm not so sure about. I think it would be bore false witness upon someone, and you thought you were going to get away with it. No, whether you might get away with it for a quote unquote get away with it, and I hate to use that because really you didn't get away with it. You in the minds of men, you got away with it, right? For a week, a month, a year, years, decades, however long, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, right? But guess what? It's eventually going to come out and known that you're a liar, or that you're a thief, or that you're a murderer, or that you're an adulterer, or or a reviler, or something, right? So it's going to come known at some point in time, all right? To men, eventually, to the Lord, it's always been known, right? And also, if it's known, you're also going to get payback for that. You're going to get repaid for that. So verse 3, again, it says, therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light. Guess what? You were talking with other so-called brothers and saying, hey, we should actually go and do this. We should just start teaching this secretly, or we should say this, or we don't really believe these things, but we're going to act like we do believe these things. Guess what? Those things are spoken in darkness, but guess what? Those are going to be heard in the light, all right? Which means you spoke them secretly, in your little clubhouse or in your car when you thought no one was around, and you said those things. You were devising wickedness against someone and saying these things. Guess what? It's going to be known. It's going to be known. It's going to come. It's going to look, because the Lord's dealing with specifically if you look at it, the elders, apostles, and brothers of Great Millstone, and those that are following after that same doctrine. All right, he's not dealing with no IUIC or Sakari that are teaching you, you can have sex on Sabbath. That's not what's going down. Okay, he's dealing specifically with the people that are in that congregation. Whether you're a part of Great Millstone or you're part of the following of Great Millstone, or whether you're an affiliate or whoever you are, you're in that same mindset as Great Millstone. Teaching and what is it? Rightly dividing the truth. All right, roughly paraphrasing, right? So if you're in that right mindset, those are the people that the Lord's really dealing with. And if you go and you think you're going to devise some wickedness towards them, you don't think that he's gonna, if he's dealing with those men, you don't think that he's gonna give them a thought or a vision or hear something through the grapevine that something was going down. You don't think he's, if the Lord's really dealing with them, you don't think he's gonna give them some type of hint or warning. It says, and that which ye have spoken in the ear in closets shall be proclaimed upon the housetops. You whispering something into the first, let's go in this closet first. All right, now give me your ear. Quick, come over here. We got to be real quiet about this. Guess what? That's going to be proclaimed upon the housetops. And then we've seen it time and time again, especially with Great Millstone, with former brothers. All right, think they were getting slick or doing something that they shouldn't have been doing, right? And it comes out, and now it's proclaimed. Now you have Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Ramla, Elder Manata Zatba, Elder Yashawamba, Elder Hawad. I can't think of any other names. But, now they're all making lessons about you, and you're getting flamed. That would be proclaimed upon the housetops. Say, hey, watch out for this former dude, not brother. Keep on slipping saying brother. Watch out for this reprobate. Watch out for this bug out. Watch out for this fucking demon. He's no longer part of GMS. He's no longer around us. Don't go around him. If you have contacts with him, cut ties. And if brothers aren't making lessons about it, they're sharing lessons that have been made. All right, they're sharing lessons. There's been times, I believe, in the past where I didn't make a lesson about it because, again, I'm not in GMS, so sometimes I just might not make a lesson about it. But, I might share a brother's lesson. I might share Elder Manata Zatba's video. I might share Elder Apostle Har's video because that's something that needs to go about the congregation, whether you're in GMS or not, if you're following them, because, you don't want to be, the GMS brothers, they have their stuff on lock. But if you're, watching GMS, you might not know, and you might see all of a sudden that, why isn't this guy, GMS used to be in his name, right? And he doesn't have GMS on his name anymore. And you see those videos and see what's going on. You need to unsubscribe, all right? Like I said, I'm not in GMS, but when I see those videos, my ass goes directly over to my subscription, and I unfollow those dudes. All right? I unsubscribe from them. I don't want nothing to do with them. Okay? Nothing to do with them. Instantly. Not a, oh, if, and, or, but, baby. No, you gotta do it. All right? So, it says, that's more warning, but, we got that for the most part. Let's get Wisdom of Solomon. I'm approaching the end. I don't know. I wanted this to be a little bit longer, but so Wisdom of Solomon. Like, and through the Spirit, maybe it didn't need to be longer. Maybe this is what just needed to get out. So let's get Wisdom of Solomon. One and 8 through like 10, right? Yep. So Wisdom of Solomon. Highlight those up. This is Wisdom of Solomon. Of course, this is in the Apocrypha, as you can see at the top. It says, verse 8, Wisdom of Solomon 1 in verse 8. It says, therefore, he that speaketh unrighteous, do we want to read up? No, we're going to read from the top. Why not? Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 1. We're going to go down through 10, maybe further, depending. Verse 1, it says, love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Think of the Lord with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek him. For he will be found of them that tempt him not, and showeth himself unto such as do not distrust him. For forward thoughts separate from Yahweh, and his power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise. For into a malicious soul, listen to this, for into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject to sin. And that needs to be highlighted, because that's an excellent scripture. It says, for the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit, and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in. For wisdom is a loving spirit, and will not acquit a blasphemer of his words. For Yahweh is a witness of his reins, and a true beholder of his heart, and a hearer of his tongue. That's the thing. Is the Lord is a true beholder of hearts. He knows what's inward in you. Okay? You can't hide nothing from him. Okay? It says, verse 7, for the Spirit of the Lord filleth the world, and that which containeth all things hath knowledge of the voice. Here's the point for this lesson, the highlights, 8 through 10. It says, therefore, he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid, neither shall vengeance, when it punisheth, pass him by. For inquisition shall be made unto the counsels of the ungodly, and the sound of his word shall come unto the Lord for the manifestation of his wicked deeds. For the ear of jealousy heareth all things, and the noise of murmurings is not hid. You're doing some murmurings, you're doing whatever, it's not going to be hid. Again, in verse 8, therefore he that speaketh unrighteous things shall not be hid, neither shall vengeance, when it punisheth, pass him by. And I mentioned that earlier, and that's all through the Spirit. It's through the scriptures and through the Spirit. Is that you not only is it going to come to be known, right? Not only are you going to be found out, you're also going to be punished. It's not just, you lied and now everyone's going to know you're a liar. It's that you lied and you're going to know that you're a liar. And the Lord's also, he always knew you're a liar, and vengeance is still going to get you for that, man. You're still going to be paid back for that, right? Unless you repent, all right, and never do it again. And have hope and pray and have mercy, hope that the Lord has mercy on you for those things, man. So Proverbs 15:3, that's the final scripture. We're going to close out after it. Let me grab a drink while we're at it. So Proverbs 15:3 reads, these are all pretty good. We'll read down through 7. There's a lot. There's a lot of good stuff in here. So, we'll start with 2. There are a lot of good points in here. Verse 1 is an excellent point. All right, for, being circumspect. We'll go ahead and read it. Why not? So, Proverbs 15:1, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. All right, and here's where we were starting up. Verse 2. The tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright. Is this where we were starting up? We had what? No, 3. All right. So it said, but we'll continue. It says, the tongue of the wise useth knowledge aright, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. Ain't that true? Verse 3, it says, here's where we were starting up for this lesson. Verse 3, the eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. There you go. So he beholds the evil and the good. And that, again, not just with Jake, but with Esau and everyone. All right, Esau, thinking that they're going to do some evil towards the elect, or they're going to tempt, because they're not going to prosper with it, but they're going to think that the Lord knows those thoughts. And that's why, people like Stephen Hawking end up fucking like Stephen Hawking. People like Stephen Hawking end up like Stephen Hawking because of the wickedness that they were doing, either in this life or the past life. And remember, Stephen Hawking wasn't like that his whole life, I believe. When he was younger. So he must have done some shit in this life. It's not like he was born like that. That happened in this life. Well, not in this life anymore, because his life ain't this life anymore, because he's dead now. But when he was living. It says, verse 3, the eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. That is a breach in the spirit. If you breach a wall, what does that mean? That means you busted through the wall. All right, that's a fault on that wall. Now that wall needs to be repaired. All right, perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. That's contrary to the spirit. That's something that's not good. It's adverse. All right. Verse 5, a fool despiseth his father's instruction, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doeth not so. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The way of the wicked is an abomination unto the Lord, but he loveth him that falleth after righteousness. Correction is grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. So, hey man, again, you can't hide from the Lord. No matter what you do, where you go, how you act, you whispering in someone's ear, you go into a different state. There's that saying, here in Vegas, and call all Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. I just remembered that. Barak Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for that. There's a saying here in Vegas, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and that ain't true. That ain't true. All right? You do some wicked shit here, guess what? It's going to be known. It's going to be found out, at the very least, all right, by the Lord. And then that's not so least, all right? Because that's the one person you don't want to find out. You'd rather have Bill down the street find out than the Lord. All right, but the Lord's the one who knows. Bill down the street might not find out, but the Lord will know. You can't hide from the Lord. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That ain't how it works. You go here and commit some adultery, guess what? The Lord's going to know. You go here and you steal, guess what? The Lord's going to know. You come here and you do some wickedness and do some drugs, guess what? The Lord's going to know. All right? The Lord is absolutely going to know. You can't hide from the Lord. So that's been the lesson. A little shorter one through the Spirit. Hey, Barak Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai for, having the time to even get this full lesson out, because I got to go to work in literally 1 minute. It's perfect timing. Barak Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So, hey, you can't hide from the Lord. No matter how much you think you can, you can't. With that, we're going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, the time in this truth to rule well. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing, Shalom.